What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Check, check, check. Make sure everything's good. Oh, yeah. All right. What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to talk about some mana, some crypto. Going to give you guys some updates. I'll give you guys some videos on mana, probably some videos on Ethereum. Going to make that, put it out real quick. But yeah, just bear with me for a few seconds here while I give you a rundown of my thoughts on mana. And as always, if you want to check out our Etsy store, link will be in the description below. We sell mana sweaters, mana t-shirts. Pretty, they're pretty cool swag. So if I had one, I think it's just dirty because I was wearing it the other week, so it's in the laundry. But yeah, it's I love that sweater. So and that's just me. Like I'm not, everybody else that says it's a cool sweater too. It's just so. If you guys want to pick that up, go check it out. But yeah, let's talk about some mana real quick. So, mana is obviously Decentraland. We're talking about a virtual reality platform that offers you basically land in the metaverse. So if you want to build yourself a virtual reality home, or if you want to own some land in the metaverse, then you can go live in Decentraland. And that is essentially what mana is. It's a token that represents this platform, which is Decentraland, which is a pretty cool place. I went and checked it out one time, in a video. You can see I was just like walking around, kind of seeing what was going on, and it's an interesting place. I find interesting many things about it. The fact that like corporations are starting to invest, millions of dollars to buy land in this kind of virtual reality world, kind of gives me the idea that it's not just some scheme or some fake thing. It's an actual platform that can offer services to the real world that will be beneficial, or that at least could be beneficial. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be the overall winner, because there's a bunch of different tokens like Sandbox that are competing with mana. So you need to kind of look at all of them to understand the various realities of these different tokens. But as you'll see, and if you go back and look at my other videos when I explain to you what I do and how I look at these charts and the way I think, I just give you guys my thought process, right? So when I look at mana here, in the last kind of few weeks, we've had a nice run up, right? Crypto markets have started to get some speed behind them. And like I was saying before, if you go watch my video from a few weeks ago, I was just explaining that mana, it fell all the way down to like close to $2, and then it bounced up, and now $3 is kind of that area of support that we've had building for a while. But 350 was always going to be resistance, and this is clearly by looking at the chart and understanding resistance patterns, because when you go back to the very start, way back when, 350 was your initial support and resistance level. So when you go back to way back when this thing shot all the way up, it shot right through to 4 something, and it came down and it's got support at 350. So when it got this support here at 358 back in October, it set a precedent for that as a support level, which then if it broke to the downside when it comes back up, it was going to be a resistance level, right? So that's why 350 now, and here you see 361 here when it tried to come up earlier back in I think it was I guess the early March, it tried to kind of test the highs, and it got rejected at 350 and came all the way back down, right? So this week what we're seeing right now is a test of that same support level. So this 350 is going to be an interesting level that we want to kind of keep our eyes on, and just be aware that we're probably going to be looking at some pullback, at least at this level or at 361. In those levels, it's probably gonna pull back below, but then we'll retest and push through. Or by tomorrow, if crypto just keeps going higher, we'll see this thing break through 350, and it could skyrocket all the way to 4. Like 350 and 360, once those levels break, you'll see a big time move, right? So like we saw way back here, once 350 broke both times, you saw this move almost all the way to 4, like to above 4, like 445 as it was here in October. So if 350 breaks and 360, then 361. Those are the two levels we want to look at. Right now, 351 is resistance, and then 361 will be our next level. If we can break those two levels and crypto remains positive, we could very easily see Mana hitting highs of 450 within the next day or so. And if that happens and we sustain and go higher, then this thing will be looking at 5, 6, right? All the way back to the highs here of 750, right? And we'll see resistance at $4. And if we can break $4, we'll see resistance probably down here at the low at 462. So we'll be looking to trade this thing up through 350, 361 to 450, and then I basically just keep buying and holding Mana. I haven't been selling a ton. I sold some way back here when we lost support at like $5 or something, but for the most part I've been buying and adding on these dips, just for a move much higher. Anyway, that's kind of my thought process right now, is that we're at resistance. If we can break through resistance in 361, then that'll be support, and that 350 area will act as support, and we'll look for a move higher, right? So if we break out, say, to 380 or something, and then it comes down to 360 or 1 or 350, and crypto's still strong, you want to be buying that dip, and then you want to be holding for a move higher into the $4 range. And if you're already holding, then if it can't hold this 350 level and we get a big reversal and the crypto starts to go, then maybe you want to take some profits, and we'll look to add on another dip, right? Yeah, that's how you should look at Mana. That's all I have to say about that one. If you check me back in a minute, I'll have another video on Ethereum right after, probably. Check that out and you'll get an update, and we'll talk about that real quick. But yeah, and at the bottom here, this is always a good indicator to understand what's happening in the overall trend. So right now you see this kind of 50-50 buy sell. So the trading activity has kind of come to a grinding halt where there's a tug of war between both sides. The buyers and the sellers are now even. There's no imbalance to one side or the other. So if this starts to switch to one side or the other, we could see, right, a reversal or a sell. It's not, the imbalance is not incredibly to the buy side as it would have been probably earlier in the day or late yesterday. So this is something we want to be aware of too when we're looking at breakouts and if it's going to do this, right? So keep an eye on the trading activity and keep an eye on kind of the overall trend and direction, right? If we can remain on this upward trend like you see here on the day and then back here on the week, as we've kind of had this ascending wedge higher, right? If it starts to break down below this like 340, right, that's been resistance from back here, then we're probably not going to see a move higher. Anyway, that's thought process on Mana. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.